as is the case globally, the degradation of nature and the loss of biodiversity threatens to undermine our ambition and ability to deliver sustainable and inclusive development. Our nature here is in such poor condition that we are emitting instead of storing carbon, primarily from our degraded peatlands. 1 in 4 of our species has declined in abundance since 1994, and 1 in 10 is threatened with extinction. But there is also progress to build on. Scotland created 80% of all the new woodlands in the UK over the last 3 years. We are investing in the restoration of 250,000 hectares of peatland by 2030. We are aiming to protect 30% of our land and sea for nature by 2030, and are supporting the recovery of keystone species such as beavers, which is particularly exciting to me, as my father talks about growing up in a country where beavers were extinct, whereas now kids will grow up in a country where they thrive. But we know that this is only a start. Scotland has set a globally leading ambition to halt the loss of nature by 2030 and to make significant progress towards restoring our natural environment by 2045. We face a huge challenge in helping Mother Nature to heal. We urgently need to shift finance flows away from activities that pollute and degrade our natural environment, as Elizabeth has said, and mobilize new and additional funding into activities that restore and regenerate it. The Green Finance Institute assesses that Scotland is facing a nature finance gap of £20 billion over this decade. Here in Scotland, communities, landowners, environmental organizations, public bodies, and private organizations are all coming together to step up to this challenge. For example, through the Riverwoods Initiative, partners are working to create a network of thriving river woodlands across Scotland, which will bring enormous benefits for nature and communities. Scotland's streams and rivers total 125,000 kilometers, 12.5 times the length of our coastline. And if successful, the Riverwoods Initiative will turn this length of river into a superhighway for nature. In our 2 national parks, the Revere Initiative is a public-private partnership which is going to restore nature for the long term and create livelihood opportunities for communities across the diverse landscapes. In Argyll and Bute, public, private, and community stakeholders are working together to establish and optimize potential carbon sequestration activities that will also shape the local economy and support a green recovery. In order for these large landscape scale initiatives to succeed, private finance is going to be needed on an unprecedented scale. We need to use our public resources to stimulate and help build the private investment market in Scotland. We are aiming to do this through our new £55 million Nature Restoration Fund, which will lever additional funds to catalyze land and seascape scale nature recovery. Looking forward, we are clear that our approach to mobilizing that finance needs to be values-led, supporting the commitment to community benefit. In our recently published economic strategy, we commit to developing a values-led, high-integrity market for responsible investment in natural capital in Scotland. Values-led, to ensure that community benefit and a just transition. High integrity, to ensure private investment achieves the highest standards of environmental outcomes that we need to see. This will include building on our woodland and peatland carbon codes, which are already driving investment into nature-based solutions. We know that this is a challenging vision to deliver against the background of a fast-moving market, both here in Scotland and internationally. But we are working with all market participants and stakeholders to help make our vision a reality. For example, we have just published our interim principles on responsible investment. These describe our ambitions and expectations for investors, communities, landowners, land managers, public bodies, and other market stakeholders. We are now having discussions with all of our partners on how they can apply in practice and help us set the rules of the market and align our policies. Investing in natural capital and nature restoration is a significant economic opportunity for Scotland. For example, the development of supply chains, services, innovation, data, science, monitoring, and verification technologies, opportunities in fintech, and in consultancy and advisory services. The nature-based sector is a fast-growing job sector in Scotland, amounting to almost 200,000 jobs in 2019. So it's vital that we get this right to secure the future of our environment, communities, and economy. The scale of the challenge is huge, but I'm excited about what we can achieve together.